The FAA actually has received over 5,300 incident reports from various airlines on issues of assaults or misconduct in the air. And at our airline alone, we've seen just staggering numbers of flight attendant reports coming in daily of issues around the system.
And you know what? You have no idea what's coming for you.
When the federal mask mandate was handed down, that of course basically overnight changed our jobs. There was a lot of aggressive pushback from passengers that we are still seeing today. It's really made the job incredibly difficult for our flight attendants. Mental health has suffered a lot over the past 2 years. We know that when passenger demand dropped off about 90% literally overnight in early 2020, the airlines were struggling, and of course so were the concessions throughout America's airports. So they did what they had to do, these concessions in the airports, to continue some sort of revenue stream, and one of those revenue streams was to allow alcohol to be taken out of the bar or restaurant and consumed in the airport. This made it difficult for flight attendants, for customer service agents on the ground to really tell the level of intoxication of a passenger. Flight attendants of color, female flight attendants are bearing the brunt of this more so than others, and it's something that we take very seriously. It's something that we are working on with everyone right now, other flight attendant unions, airline management, and of course, Congress.
You have no idea what's coming for you.
Have called on them to not only increase the fines, but to levy jail time against the worst offenders if they're prosecuted as well. We've talked a lot about the issue of curbing the to-go alcohol. We also look to increase the communication in airports. I will also say that Department of Transportation Secretary Buttigieg is on board with the creation of a federal no-fly list. It makes no sense to us if someone abuses someone on one airline and 2 weeks later is allowed to purchase a ticket on another airline. It just decreases, obviously, safety, and really at the end of the day makes no sense. If there's a flight that's diverting into an airport, we want to make sure that the authorities are standing by, waiting to assist the crew, to assist the other passengers, and to deal with the perpetrator depending on what the issue is. So we really want to make sure that there's a coordination with law enforcement. And again, we're working with other flight attendant unions and with our airline management, of course Congress, to make sure that we increase these fines, the fines are enforced, and that jail time is a part of this for the worst offenders to keep everyone safe in the air.
You are being power hungry.
No other video game company has received this much attention and blowback for sexual misconduct, allegations, and discrimination as Activision Blizzard has over the past 5 months. And I think that is notable. in 2018, you saw Riot Games was sued for sexual harassment as well and gender-based discrimination. Last summer, there was a Me Too movement in gaming as well. A lot of it had to do with Twitch streamers and what they had gone through at gaming conventions. And then there were also stories about Ubisoft, a major French gaming company that produces like Assassin's Creed. People that I've interviewed have said they think about, how pervasive this is in the games industry and whether they can, switch jobs and go to a company that doesn't have this. So there are people like hoping for a better version of the games industry. It's just a question of, does that even exist? And the same thing goes with Riot Games after the lawsuit in 2018. The company culture within has also shifted to be one of more accountability and trying to take responsibility. Again, like Ubisoft last year was accused of a lot of these sexual harassment complaints. And this year we heard from Ubisoft employees who stood in protest and solidarity with the Activision Blizzard employees. Ubisoft has not changed, has remained the same. So that's also very foreboding. We've actually had over 1,700 employees at Activision Blizzard sign their real names to the petition to call for the CEO to resign. These employees felt comfortable putting their real name because they thought there are so many of them that retaliation would be very hard for the company to pull off. I read Emily Chang, Bloomberg Reporter's Brotopia, which is this book about Silicon Valley's culture and how companies like Google got their start. It's almost a similar story here in the games industry, where it's like two guys maybe in a basement starting a company, and then they want to expand it beyond. And then they're thinking, how do we scale this company to 1,000 employees, to 10,000 employees? And I'm going to hire people I know, and they're going to hire people they know. And maybe all these people are going to look similar, and it's all going to be this one demographic. It just becomes this kind of like pattern of hiring and of expanding these companies where it isn't, diversity is not prioritized, and they really care more about their bottom line. If you read the Wall Street Journal report about Bobby Kotick, it does say that he allegedly kept people in power even after there were sexual harassment allegations about them, just because this was like a studio lead who was able to generate money and create, successful games. You see that it's not dying down. You still have other outlets putting out these investigations months later after the fact. So this news cycle is not going to just die out right away. It's going to continue. And all the different government investigations on Activision Blizzard have to have some sort of conclusion in the future as well. So there's also going to be government repercussions there. So we can only, wait and see how those all play out and shake out. But I think that, even just the fact that we're talking about this now is a huge difference from how things were 10 years ago or 20 years ago. We have never seen such a consistent storyline and news cycle around one video game company over the course of months.
Taste of your lips, I'm on a ride. You're toxic, I'm sipping under with the taste of a poison paradise. I'm addicted to you, don't you know that you're toxic? And I love what you do, don't you know that you're toxic? Intoxicating now. loving now. I think I'm ready now. I think I'm ready. Intoxicating now. We in loving now. I think I'm ready now. Oh.
Having the last, holding my son for the last time. But it was a beautiful setting.
You're looking at possibly the worst kept secret in the Secret Service. 00 hot stuff. A guy who protected the Bidens on vacation may now need protection himself from his fans. Wrestle me to the ground, please. Put me on his watch list. These two friends were in stitches after waiting for the Bidens in Nantucket, but focusing on whoever this beautiful man was instead.
She was like, wait, do you see that Secret Service guy? Like, he's so handsome. And I was like, oh my God. So then we both started videoing it.
Clip after clip went viral. This one was shot by photographer Matthew Notarangelo.
He just looked like somebody out of a magazine, like perfect hair, sunglasses.
He has a nice jawline.
Even Stephen Colbert couldn't resist the heartthrob.
Whoa. If he's there, who's manning the door at Abercrombie & Fitch?
Lots of people thought he looked like Tom Cruise, though we never got a good shot of 00 hot stuff without his sunglasses.
Yes, ma'am.
Online posters went gaga. What if I trip towards the president? Will this man catch me? He can Secret Service me any day. No comment from the Secret Service itself, though a source confirmed to CNN that he is an agent. But fans, when it comes to getting his number...
That's classified.
Ginimos, CNN, New York.